him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Come on, Cobb, it's time for the only news that matters. And the Telegraph, the largest Dutch daily morning newspaper, reported earlier this week that Alex Van Halen was working on a collection of previously unreleased, unfinished Van Halen recordings, which Steve Lukather's helping him out to complete it. The Van Halen drummer, he said of the new project in paywalled article, he said, Ed and Steve Lukather were very good friends and they often work together. There is no one who can do this process with me as well as he can. Now, Steve Lukather, seemingly surprised about Alex's comment, is quoted in the same article as responded, "Did Alex say that? Oh, in that case, the news is true. Ed, Alex, and I were very close for years. It is true that we worked on it together." On Saturday, March 15th, Lukather took to his Instagram to clarify his possible involvement in the new Van Halen album, saying, "For the record, ever since Alex Van Halen dropped what we were going to work on together, I think there is a huge misunderstanding. I will not ever play a guitar note on a Van Halen song, ever." That's fucking awesome. I love that. That's a great thing to say, Steve. Hell yeah. Only Van Halen, damn it. No, nobody but Eddie and David Lee Roth, and even though I love Wolfie, Michael Anthony, and Alex Van Halen. Anyway, Al asked me, he continues, Al asked me to help him through a ton of unfinished recordings Al and Ed writing and recording that never saw the light of day. As of now, that's all I got. The fact that anyone would think for even a second I would play anything on this is ridiculous. Call me ridiculous. In the last story when this news broke, I even said, I go, Steve, because, the article made it sound like Steve was going to play on it. And I thought, Steve's going to do minimum. It's mostly going to be Eddie. That's what I thought. But no, Steve was like, dude, I ain't doing jack squat. I'm not doing anything on this album. Anyway, he said, I have too much love and respect for that, and I play nothing like Ed. More as a co-producer or something. I am honored Alex asked me though. And let's see, Alex has previously said that there was enough Van Halen material in the vaults for another 3 or 4 records. Speaking of an episode from Chris Jericho's Talk is Jericho podcast, Eddie's brother said, I've talked about it loosely and I am rather suspicious, but I can say a couple of things that I've mentioned before. We're going to go through the vaults and go through some of the musical ideas that were there. There was some good stuff in there. And you have to remember, when in the thick of it, sometimes the really good stuff kind of gets passed by. And it's not until you revisit it going, whoa, I forgot about that. This kicks ass. But that takes time. You want to do it right. I want to do it right. Eddie Van Halen and Steve Lukather has collaborated on several projects in the past, including Michael Jackson's Beat It, on which Lukather played the main riff and Van Halen played the solo, and Eddie also played bass on Lukather's debut album and made a guest appearance on Steve's 2003 Christmas LP, Sentimental. Back in 2020, a little over a month after Eddie's death, Lukather reflected on his... Did I just say Lucifer? Lukather reflected on his friend's passing, telling Metal Master Kingdom, it's hard for me, man, because it's the wound is very, very deep, and I'm very honored to have been Ed's friend. Really a friend, not just a guitar buddy who had a beer with him once. This is a 40-plus year friendship with him and Alex. I know all these guys in Van Halen. I love all the guys. In Switzerland, when it comes to their relationship with each other, I was just on Sammy Hagar's show, and he sucks. No, that actually, he didn't say that. I just said that. He was beautiful to me, and he's very ugly to me. You know, he's beautiful to Steve, though. Mike Anthony, his wife, also very nice to me. The brothers Ed and Al and I have always stayed close. I've been in touch with Al more than anybody. And Janie, Eddie's widow, sent me some wonderful pictures of Ed and I when we were younger that she found somewhere. And I've been in touch. I talked to Wolf once, and I'm going to leave him alone. He's got his mom. That's a weird thing to say, right? I talked to Wolf once, and I'm going to leave him alone? Why say that? I don't know. That's odd. Anyway, you should talk to him again, Steve. You know, he's the son of your buddy. And, all right, let me continue. And he says, this is a hole in my heart that won't go away. He was a real friend of mine, okay? We didn't get together and talk about guitars and stuff unless we wanted to play each other something new or brag about our kids. And really, we spent the last half of our relationship bragging about each other's son, because they both play. We always have that in common, the sons and the guitar. And we have a lot of common off of the gig that has nothing to do with music. I love the man. There's nothing to argue about how great he was as a musician. I don't have to. Who's going to argue? He was one of the greats to ever pick up a rock and roll guitar. In my opinion, he was the greatest. He changed everything. And he was my friend. And I miss my friend more than anything. I miss the roar of one of his vehicles scaring the fuck out of my neighbors. The way he laughed, the way he fucking hugged me whenever he came by. The last thing I have in my phone is just a heart that he sent me. It's hard for me to talk about it because it's an open wound. But I imagine how his family feels. My heart goes out to everyone in the Van Halen family. Eddie died on October 6, 2020 at St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica, California at the age of 65. The iconic Van Halen Axeman died of complications due to cancer, and his son confirmed. Van Halen was inducted into that crappy place, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, in 2007. And Rolling Stone ranked Eddie Van Halen number 8 in its list of 100 greatest guitarists. All right, just to get off this subject for a second, this ranking. Not even Rolling Stone, everybody complains about rankings. Hey, Rolling Stone, it's their opinion. And their opinion for me is crap. But anyway, back to Van Halen and Steve Lukather. Yeah, it's good to know that it's only going to be Eddie on the album, you know? And the way that first reported, the way they reported it, I thought, damn, man, they're gonna have Steve on the album, you know, to put in the little empty spots that the song might need. But no, it turns out it's not gonna be that way, you know, and that's awesome, you know, and it's gonna be all Eddie. And I also want to say, when I put up the first report, I said in my segment that, man, it has to be Dave. Nobody, I don't even care if he sounds like a dead frog. It has to be Dave, you know? That's my own personal opinion, but boy, I was stunned at all the comments, people saying, it has to be Dave. I was like, right on, man, I'm not alone on this. And of course, there were a few that said, no, not Dave. Get Sammy Hagar. No, I don't think anybody said that. Or I'd ban him. No, I wouldn't. I was just kidding. Anyway, so that's the news, man. We got Steve Lukather saying that he's going to help produce it. You know what's kind of weird is in the first interview he said that, you know, yeah, me and Al did something. But now he's saying, you know, he's going to produce. It hasn't been done yet. So I'm looking forward to it. And there you go, everybody. That is the only news that matters. And what do you think? Leave it in the comments below. It has to be Dave, man. All right, if you don't think that that's cool, that's all right. But I agree with all those people in that video I put up that put up those comments saying it has to be Dave, man. Anyway, thank you again for watching The Only News That Matters. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't and ring that little notification bell. I totally would appreciate that. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithm. So stay frosty. Listen to Van Halen Six Pack with Diamond David Lee Roth. It has to be Dave. And smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.